Hey everybody, how are you guys doing tonight? It is still the 1st of April, April Fool's Day for those of you that are keeping track. How are you doing? My name is Leo Naranjo, the fourth candidate for governor of the 2026 campaign election cycle. And I have a question for Republicans. Maybe you can answer this one. Stumbled across it, thought it was kind of interesting, and it wasn't something I actually dug into because I'm just perusing through the Twitter/X feed, and lo and behold, here's one of our favorite candidates, not necessarily mine, Mr. Hilton. And he brought up abortion. Now, I've always said abortion is the kryptonite to any Republican. You don't believe me? Go into a CRA group, go into a Central Committee group. Generally, they blast you with the first couple of questions, starting with, where do you stand on 2A gun rights, and where do you sit with abortion? Now, to survive that, you generally have to be pro-life, and you have to be pro-gun. 2A, Second Amendment. Yay. Abortion, pro-life, yay. And you pass that, and then they go on and hit you up with some other nonsense. But I give credit to Mr. Athens, because Jim Athens, who's also a governor candidate, because at the Kim Eater events, he kind of hit Steve with this question. And like the consummate showman that he is, or snake, depending on how you want to look at it, he flirts and maneuvers and gets out of answering a direct question when it comes to the abortion issue. Oh, we're going to follow the law. Oh, we're going to do this. Oh, we're going to do that. We're going to do stuff for life if we can. Those type of answers are very cagey answers, but they never really say one way or the other where he sits. Now, Mr. Daniel Mercury has popped out with a couple of comments from Steve from way back when, and it's not too way back when, like in the last 2 or 3 years of way back when. And I decided to bring one of these questions up because, again, in his name-dropping way of everybody he knows, he name-drops to be impressive. He knows the world. I mean, he name dropped. Oh yeah, Bob, yes, Bob from Cataline, and we got Sally over there from Tupelo, Mississippi. That's a real place. I always thought it was fictional, but no, there's a real place called Tupelo, Mississippi. Sally from Tupelo, Mississippi, and Bob from over there in Bum Squat, Egypt. Yes, yeah, I've known them. Oh, I've known them forever. The last 20 minutes I've known them. Yes, I've known them very well. Known them all my life. Yes, I have. I know everybody. I know the president. I know all the president's staff. Very good friends. I'm good friends with Gorbachev. If he was still around, I'd be good friends with him too. Anyway, he says that he's endorsed and supported by Pastor Hibbs, Cavalry Chappel. Well, that's interesting. A pastor supporting a pro-life candidate? That's not unusual, Leo. No, it's not. But I asked the question of GROK, that little AI computer thing. Not the best, I'll give it to you. Not perfect, I'll give it to you again. But I got a response back, which is kind of interesting, because it's not a pro-life response from Mr. Hilton. It's a tuck and duck response from Mr. Hilton on his campaign stump. This is what it says, and I'll read you the meatball part of it. Steve Hilton has positioned himself as representing that overlooked majority at the time. If you're looking for the exact video clip, full interview, or more recent statements of his campaign, let me know. I can help narrow it down further. I believe that's GROK answering my question. His views have been discussed in campaign contents, but the direct 57% quote is from a statement he made in 2022, 4 years ago. Yes, Steve Hilton has explicitly said he identifies with the 57% who want legal abortion with some restrictions. In a 2022 tweet, quoting or responding to a discussion lightly around the Dobbs decision, he wrote, and I quote, only 33% of Americans want abortion with no restrictions at all. And only 8% want it completely banned. The rest of us, 57%, want legal abortion with some restrictions. No one's representing me, and it has never felt so lonely and unseen to be in a majority. Steve Hilton matches the phrasing question almost exactly. The quote has been widely shared and discussed in recent context related to his 2026 gubernatorial campaign, e.g. in his Instagram Reels, Facebooks, and the same statement. Hilton's position appears to be a moderate legal with restrictions view rather than a strict pro-choice or no limits pro-life. He's described himself as wanting to, quote, move us towards life, unquote, in practical ways such as making California more family-friendly so people want to have children while acknowledging exceptions. As a Republican candidate, he has spoken at events with conservative figures, e.g. Pastor Jack Hibbs, and emphasized protecting life where possible. That's a loose-lipped, pro-life, pro-choice, slippery slope because it doesn't answer where you stand. Protecting life where possible. Well, what if it's not possible? And what's defining not possible? When do you stop protecting life when it is not possible? On policy, he said he would enforce the law on issues like extradition for out-of-state abortion cases, e.g., respecting Louisiana laws while noting California voter-approved protections, reflecting federalism over imposing a single national. His own words and campaign materials lean towards the restrictions middle ground he claimed in 2022. So my question was to Pastor Hibbs, you're pastor of a church, Cavalry Chappel. A very simple question, sir, directly to you. Do you support a candidate that supports abortion with restrictions? And do you feel that your support for a candidate who feels he's in the 57% range that wants abortions, are you okay with that as a pastor in Calvary Chapel? Mr. Hilton claims you endorsed this man. You've endorsed him. You're kind of well known in the pastoral ranges, sir. But you look like you're taking a step backward now. Because I'm not sure the church is exactly pro-choice. And Mr. Hilton does not seem to be pro-life. Pro-life with exceptions, but they're not defined. They're very loose. And that's the ramifications, that's the problem you have when you start making loose-lip definitions of that nature. You've literally, I don't know why this little TikTok thing didn't come out. You've literally backed a candidate that is pro-abortion. And I wonder, Pastor Hibbs, if you knew that. I wonder if that's okay for you to know that. And I wonder if you're going to be okay with knowing that. I'm going to send this back to you, minus the nonsensical TikTok video that's included, because for some reason that's not working. But this is kind of an interesting question for Pastor Hibbs. Is how do you square that with your church? That you're supporting a pro-choice candidate. That agrees with the other 57% of the population, evidently in this survey, that wants abortion. How do you agree with that? How do you acknowledge that? How do you support a candidate that falls into that realm? Wow, what did that man do for you and your church? That's what I'd like to know. But my name is Leo Naranjo IV. I go to Southside Community Church myself. Candidate for governor in the 2026 election. God bless you all. It's the 1st of April. And we're into Easter weekend. Passover is here, and we're getting ready to enter Easter and all the implications with it. Christ is risen. You guys have a great night. Take care. We'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.